Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is day 4 of the BPL. Getting ready for the last push here. Gonna start it off by trying to see if I can make a better pair of gloves. I definitely would like a curse on a pair of these gloves, and there's another bricked pair. That's what I'm talking about. 3 of them. Okay, 4 more. Take some chromes. Make sure this one's not all green. And nope, nothing. +2 minion gems. Rip. So +2 ore gems, still the best I got. 3 more. Nothing. +2 curse gems. Still better with +2 aura, I think. 1 more. Nothing. I've tried a few, to say the least. Alright, might not be able to get the curse gloves yet. Maybe later. I'll keep blasting in the meantime. Still a long way to go. It's like we still need lots of grasping males. So probably for me, it's going to be the exact same as it was yesterday in the map. Farm the breach. Go next. I guess what I'm really doing is saving everybody else, like, as intense of a mad dash at the end to finish all these grasping males. Got like 23 hours to go. Plan is to push through to the end, see what happens. I might be better off farming lower tier maps just so I can crush these a little bit harder if all we're really needing is breach rings. But every single time I've looked in our guild tab, the breach stones are being used constantly. I guess to farm invitations for Maven and all kinds of stuff, I guess. Yeah, I'd like to think that what I'm doing has pretty good value to it, even if it's not targeting the, like, bandwagon, everybody focus on this thing. Like, if I just keep farming breaches, I'm helping out in some way. So that is what I will keep doing. I haven't been the only person running the breaches either, so I'm not going to feel bad about continuing to do it. Looks like we're not needing legions. No one's been running the legions. Remove all the legion stuff. The unique sets here, we still need a lot of breach. Presence of Cheula, Shield, Green Dream, Green Nightmare. But yeah, Focus and Cheula is probably the play from the looks of things. Yeah, if I was doing lower tier breaches, I could kill the rare enemies a little bit quicker. I think when it comes to breach rings, though, I just need to kill as much of the packs as possible. For splinters, it's more, I think, focused on the rares. Got the crit shrine plus the echoing plus the projectile. This is about as crazy as I think this can possibly go. Big trail of them. It's just a little bit fast. I have learned, though, that projectile speed is not exactly the best for this. There's a weird way about it. So basically, being a Deadeye, I have far shot, and I also have long shot. So this is a bunch of projectile speed, and I have less projectile speed on the mastery. That is so that projectiles go about to the edge of my screen, and that's about where they'll stop if I'm like throwing at a corner. So I can kind of target what I'm throwing at pretty much. The crazy thing, though, is like if I'm standing on top of an enemy, the projectile throw out won't kill it, but the one coming back will. Like, that initial bit of the projectile does so low damage that I actually have, it doesn't matter sometimes. I can be spamming at it and I'm doing no damage. And it's not going to do any damage till these ones get back. So, there's different things you can do here. I was thinking about, like, I throw on more projectile speed because that's just going to make clearing the T9 maps I'm doing easier. But it wound up being like I killing nothing close to me. So if I went over here and got reduced projectile speed and the less projectile speed mastery, now my projectiles only go out to here, but I could very, very clearly stack it up on a target. But I might not be able to clear breaches quite as well. So you have to find the balance in it, right? Of what feels good for you based on the speed that it's going to get to. But the damage that I get, like, where the blades slow and stop in that little region, that damage is going to obliterate anything it touches. But you can see, like, for a map with so many small enemies like the sea witches, this probably isn't the best setup because I have to actually get close to stuff to clear it. But I guess if stuff was really tanky, this maybe would be the way to go because you can control your damage way better. It seems like the far shot on stuff is based on the projectile, like, duration or something. Like, it's not as much a distance based, it's from when you throw it to when it gets back to you and then like where it is on that duration or something like that to get the extra damage, because they're still going to deal extra damage as they go farther, but like why are they doing so much more damage when they're just slower than they were otherwise? Because if I just walk up and hit something, these things are going to die, like without a doubt, with the slower projectiles, because like the damage ramps up faster because it's reaching its end faster. So I could throw, if I had more projectile speed, I'd throw it and it would go way out here and then run all the way back. But this is already at the end, and now this projectile that I was dragging, this is something you can do as well. If you got good aim, you can like pre-fire and then drag projectiles through enemies with their like max damage. It's difficult to do, especially without good mana recovery, but it is possible to kind of whip them around and just buzz some stuff up. Here's the breach. So I'm going to be able to kill the rares really easily. I find them, target them at the right range, and they just go down. But I can't just like mow through these packs as well as a result of that, based on how I'm balancing out my projectile speed. So I can like tweak it for different things, but that costs passives, and I might have lost out on some of that breach because I just didn't have the projectile speed. So it's kind of versatile in that way of like what you need it to be able to do. You can alter it just a little bit, and it's really easy to do so with a less and more mastery here, and then a reduced and increased speed. All right here on this little wheel. Alright, and then a metamorph is just dead. Oh yeah, it costs passive points, so you can't just change it on the fly. I'm not using any projectile modifying stuff. Maybe there's a spot where slower projectiles, you just kind of fit it in here somewhere. Added cold damage and lightning damage is pretty useful, but slower projectiles now it seems like, oh, I actually need more projectile speed because that's getting too close. Like, it's not going anywhere. Like, there's no duration on the projectiles. So yeah, that's obviously too much. I'm just gonna switch these back because I do think what I had is the sweet spot, having long shot for the increased speed and then less projectile speed to balance it out. But I have slower projectiles on right now, and that's about where it's going to end up after the less projectile speed. But then I want it to be even less, so now it's going to there, but I don't want slow projectiles in, so now it's going out here again. So there's a lot you can tweak with this. Wild. Yeah, this is about the like how I've been clearing with it. So in a direction that I'm moving, like this top right corner, as long as I throw and move, like I can see those projectiles hit their peak distance, and I'm pretty much clearing in that range, like about a screen from where I fired the initial projectile. So seeing all this makes me think, whenever I get this level, should I make it to 96, I'm going to get a reduced projectile speed. Just a 10% reduction to see if this can dial in just a little bit closer without me having to change things too much. And it might be really nice and better for dealing with rare enemies, because that's the biggest issue I'm having in the breaches. It's not clear in the packs. It's dealing with the rare enemies when I don't have time to sit there and wait for a projectile to return, because I just have to keep going in these so that I can get all the hands, get as much stuff as possible, because we need them breach rings. The rampage definitely carries its weight in these breaches. Here's a metamorph comparison with the longer projectiles. See how it's just not dead yet? Gotta wait for those projectiles to come back. Yeah, it's very different for clearing and bossing with this. Be very different setups. But if I can hit an enemy like this thing that's sitting way out there, it'll die. 4 pairs of Tanu Ahi. Nothing. 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 3 of them went white sockets. 1 actually did nothing. Boring. Logging in for the final push here. Decided to check for Tanu Ahi gloves. And here is curse enemies with elemental weakness on hit. It's beautiful. It is like mineraled on the armor evasion, attack speed, whatnot. Some use for tainted armor scraps, I guess. 2%, 17% quality, sure. So let's get this in here. I took like a 4 or 5 hour nap before this final push. It looks like we still need 5 grasping males. That's another 300 breach rings already working into that. So still on breach duty. Let's see what we got going on here. Should just curse everything with enfeeble. Oh, or elemental weakness. There we go. Enfeeble would have been fine. Temp chains would have been fine. Punishment would have been fine. All kinds of stuff. It's just bits of extra damage. I'm not putting down exposure or anything, so this is all just raw extra damage because of the LE weakness. Actually huge. Looking like it's clearing pretty well. Chayula Breach. My damage against rare enemies is just going to be even better. Love it. Actually huge. 6 breach rings. That's what we're doing it for. Get unique sets here for breach. Choir of the Storm, the Anticipation, the Surrender, Zoph's Nurture, Voice of the Storm. Okay, so it looks like I need a switch from Chayula into Ulnatol. I don't know, at this point, with like 7 hours left in the event, we need 2 Ul shields. That's big yikes. That might just not be possible. Probably becomes the fact that there's easier points elsewhere. So maybe we just finish the breach rings and then move on. What's the overall leaderboard looking like? Oh yeah, we're in last. Oh wow, first place is up huge. But the fight for third is still reasonable. So something to push for. We're still down in Delve, which seems like people are working on. I could probably help out with that as well. These breach rings are going to come pretty quickly. Now that I'm back up. Ooh, boss. VDAT. They're so tanky. He ran away. He got out of my projectiles, but still. For T11 map, I shredded that guy. Fusing. 24 on the tainted fusing, so we need 1 more of those. Come on, on the toll. Die. And I missed the old one dropping me 20 splinters on the boss kills. Need that. Only 4 splinters for killing the boss on the map. Kinda hurts. Proof map. I can still curse everything because of the Cosprey's will. Really happy I'm finally making use of the chest. I had the chest for so long without applying a second curse, so very glad to have that in the works. Whoa, what's going on in here? But wow, caused lots of frame loss. What is this? This is obnoxious. I almost want to say this purple is like a caustic arrow. I don't even know. What did we do? We really messed this up. We went all kinds of the wrong route through the Untainted Paradise. Yeah, I got a speed shrine. Speed shrine is so cool, but like I do way less damage to enemies that are close to me because there's so much more room for the projectiles to travel in the total of their range. It seems like that's what scales the far shot more than anything else. Yeah, it wears off and it feels like I just do more damage to the things I hit. Strange. Thanks to the curse on hit, I'm doing a T14 map, cutting through it about like it's butter like the yellow maps I was working on. Feels really good. I run a little bit more risk of death doing T14 maps, but I actually might get the level 97 as a result. Getting back up to T14 plus maps means I get influence back on my maps, which means lots of extra XP. And there's a double Ulnatol boss. Get him. There's 1. There's 2. And an extra 8 splinters. Maybe tainted fusing's done. So nuts. Or the grasping maw. Maybe there's a rare enemy around. But for a T14 map, the boss is taking some damage. Happy with it. Build feels good. Another double all boss. Let's go. Got him. Is that another one? I got 3 ulls in the same map. That's cool. Need them splinters, so nice. Another 2 ulls. So cool. Yeah, they just don't drop much. I want to make one of these grasping males. Looks like there's enough of these in here. Takes 60 breach rings. And then we get a grasping male. And they can roll mods that roll on uniques from breach. 1 more. Wonder how many of the breach rings I actually farmed myself for this. Probably in reality not even a third, but it is all I've been farming for 3 days. Those grasping males. Level 97. Second build with like under 4k life that I've leveled that didn't deserve to level this league. Just from having enough damage and moving. Crazy stuff. It's a fun build though. Alright, now I go Del. Passive point go where? Oh, I never got the mastery for a 15% life if no life on body armor. Aha! Another big part of using the Cosprey's will. Okay, we got Delve Depth done. I think my goal now, try and farm is the dedication of the goddess. We've moved up. We are in 4th currently. Nice. Our delve pushed up. Gonna go up 2 more points to 5,000 total depth. So let's go up. Let's move up into 3rd. Keep it going. Looks like we need a pair of gloves from lab, so now I'm farming lab, looking for a pair of gloves. I got Zergle's crank. That's a lab unique, I think, not the one I'm looking for. Again, no unique. Go again. Hopefully I'm not doing this for the next 3.5 hours. More chests. Nope. We got the winds of change. Onto something else. Thankfully, no longer doing that. My goodness. Seems like the play is continue doing breaches. Try and farm the breach bosses. Uniques. Go back to it, I guess. So it seems like we got all the grasping males, but we're not going to get the 100 dedications to the goddess. So we're not going to get the challenge completion for this. So all of the grasping males won't actually get us points. That feels bad. I'm going after the twisted, I guess. Other guardians. Feed into more Uber Elder, I think, and Maven. That's something I'm working on now as well. This is my first actual boss attempt on this character, and when the projectiles come back, they will die. Yo, we got a shield. That's one of them. We just need another one now. Wow, we only had 38 of the 100 offerings to dedication. So yeah, that's not happening. Alright, here's the twisted. Temp chains, frenzy charge, all damage ignites, less effective curses. Simple enough. See if Maven wants to heal them. Yep. Maven wants to heal them. Uh-oh, yep, bad ignite. I guess the best option here is just run in circles. I maybe should have altered projectile speed here for better uptime on my damage, but really what can I do outside of that to make this better? The only thing I can do to get more damage out is to stop and launch projectiles everywhere, but I can't really stop or else some of these guys are gonna get me. Getting the enslaver out of here would be massive. Oh, launching projectiles across the room. They weren't being healed. This would probably be over. Slaver die. Okay, yeah. One of them's dead. Oh, come on. Just one of y'all die, please. They're all so close. The mark keeps moving on to the wrong enemy, though, so I'm not getting the culling strike, and then the other one can heal. Such a pain. You know, the hardest part about this is the, I have to constantly be moving, so I really can't deal reliable damage. So if I can just hold it down, yeah, that one just died. Done. 5 splinters. Yo, we got the ad series reflection from div cards. It's more points. The end of BPLs is wild. Everybody's coming together to finish off these crazy things. Just all of a sudden, whoever can do it, do this thing. Back where I was grinding Cruel Lab for an hour, and now I'm still farming breaches for Esh. And full wild farming Maven invitations to try and feed Hulu to get us an Echo Forge is what we need from Maven. Third twisted. I am getting pretty exhausted at this point. Also haven't eaten in 12 hours. And if I eat, I'm gonna get tired and want to just go to sleep. And we have an hour and 45 minutes left of this. So I don't know at what point I just say, you know what? I'm gonna sleep now. Just be done with it. Rip. Oh, come on. Really, though, it's just some fizz that's cold. Another one down. Almost. Purifier. Yeah, it sucks when my mark gets moved off the enemy I'm actually fighting. Almost there. Just this last one. Please stay still. That's kind of sketch. Oh, that was too close. There we go. Another 5 splinters. Another Maven. Oh, there's enough in here for me to do another one. I guess I just do another one. Poison, hexproof, endurance charge, hinder. Took the purifier out real quick. Eradicator and constrictor like disappear from time to time. So taking out the other two first generally just seems like it's going to be the play. Oh, I think I killed the Constrictor. And it's always going to be this Eradicator left last, as the Eradicator goes into the ball phase. Okay, now it's just that one. At least they weren't being healed. Actually the worst. And die. An Astramintus? I would love to have that in an actual league. What did I get? Only 4. Oh! Yeah, we need Shaper Fragments. That's what it looks like for Uber Elders, what they're trying to do. Yes, now I farm the Formed. We don't have any of the Formed. So hopefully I can get one. This map spawned 10 breaches, I think. I'm pretty sure breaches is what I had in line next to me in SSF. I'm gonna probably not want to do that after this. There's the Formed. Speed echoing is actually like the craziest thing with this build. Like these projectiles and me go everywhere all at once. Hydra noped real quick. Come back, eat the balls. Got it. Go for the Formed. 1 hour left. Hexproof, no exposure, frenzy charge, less armor and block. Should be a breeze. Probably the same as every other one of these I've done. You run in circles, deal damage when you can, and then probably run for Minotaur and Phoenix. Oh, I got Hydra below half. That's good. Not healing. That's huge. I think I got Hydra. I did. That's good. Alright, Chimera. Minotaur's been taking damage somehow. Not gonna complain. Yep, Minotaur dead. It was easier than the other ones. Boom. Another 4. Yeah, this just feels like a pure breach zone. For real. Seems about the same as what I would have expected from it. I didn't look at what mods rolled on this. Just kind of threw it in and went. And it's only an Esh, so not too bad. Oh, I think I witnessed this too. Probably have to turn the witness off. That could be a pain. Just doing this to take a shot at the amulet here from Esh. There's another flask. Yeah, I got good damage. Esh kind of warps around a lot. I've done so few like breach bosses. Oh, oh, rip! Don't kill me. Okay, dead and nothing. And those are all gone. Go fight Shaper then. Not influenced. Got damage here. I'll take it. Against Mr. Shaper. I really wish I would have gotten the +1 Spectral Throw alt quality. That reduces my projectile speed and gives me an additional projectile. I wish I could have gotten that for this. It's probably really rare though. Cool. Easy. So I probably have more damage on this build than any of my SSF builds. And it's like not super great if I'm being honest. The weapon is T5, T3 with crafted base crit. All it has is the attack speed. So the weapon's pretty garbage. But weird, like knowing that I have to kind of off screen the boss. As long as I know where it's at, especially during this phase. Yeah, that was really quick. Phase 2. Yeah, Spect 4 bossing this build could. I think Spectral Throw, if you play it right, is probably doing a lot of damage. Just need to slow the projectile speed down a little bit, and it's fine. But I don't anticipate that I'm going to play on this build at all after today. The next 45 minutes, maybe. Come on, Mr. Shaper. Okay, there's more Esh Breach Stones. Come on, give me the top fragment. Give me the top fragment. Give me the top one. Easy. 3 Esh that are harder to farm and no unique at all. That's awful. And I will go run another Shaper. I don't know if as many people are capable of doing Shaper as Esh Breach Stones. Oops, somebody get another knowledge. So I will run in Shaper for attempts at Uber Elder. There's like nothing I can do. I can get from this. Just somebody has to do it. Come on, Cole. Knowledge. Oh, we need to do an Elder. Oh, we need a top Elder. Or maybe he took a whole stack. I don't know. I'll do an Elder. Get him. They stay in one place. It's so good. I'm so dead. I didn't bring 2 life flasks for that. Yeah, you take this same simple build and give it a good weapon that actually has damage on it. This build is pretty awesome. It's just that playing on Deadeye lets me have all the projectiles without having to run a GMP or something. Okay, I wonder if I can survive the pulse on this build. I have a bit more survivability than my other one. Yeah, I survived the pulse. I actually have evasion on this character as well. My attribute stacker has like 2k life and no grace. Come on, top one. Orb of Dominance, Terror is top one. Alright, well, see, since I still have access to this tab, there's one thing that I would like to keep. No! The Divine Teardrop is gone! I want my Divine Teardrop. Let me ask, did the Divine Teardrops get used for anything? Or are those floating around still somewhere? Okay, I wanted to take the one that I found if it wasn't going to be used. I've never had one of those. ItFightsBack, trade tab. Yep. Cool. Thank you. Okay. Keeping the Solstice Vigil I dropped. Max roll of life. Keeping the Divine Teardrop. Blizzard Crown. I guess, I'll just leave this stuff here. A Blizzard Crown would have been the ideal replacement for this helmet. I just stuck with this Rat's Nest because it was working. It was giving me rarity, helpful stuff. We're at the point there isn't much else I can do to be helpful. So if you want to look at the build more in depth, the POB will be in the video description. I don't know that I'll come back to this build. This was really kind of designed for this event and farming as efficiently as possible. It's not optimal by any means. Amulet's pretty bad. Weapon's pretty bad. Shield is, like, there's not much you could get on the shield. I could optimize spell suppression, was my original plan with the shield, but I got lots of life and resists with the attack speed, so went with it. There's just, like, I could switch into a Blizzard Crown and get extra flat damage, because like flat damage is where this build is lacking, because there's not a lot on the weapon. It's like mostly coming from the added lightning damage, the added cold damage, which these could both be awakened. I could have an awakened Ellie with attacks, and then there's the crit damage Trinity, and then the divergent spectral throw. So spectral throw here, if this is divergent, yeah, fires an additional projectile, 10% reduced projectile speed. I feel like if I had that extra 10% reduced projectile speed, this would feel really good. Right now, I think it's just going, like, the toss is going just a little bit too far off screen. Just bring it back a tiny bit more. I mean, it's possible too, I reroute out of ballistics, but that's good damage. And the only other projectile speed I have is down here. I already got the reduced, and adjacent animosity really doesn't help too much there. I did get a Watcher's Eye, extra multi there, which is what I would have done with this one had I had access to trade. Just stack a bunch more multi there. But I'm also at the point where it's like the multi that I have is already really high on this, like 562 multi. So, like, where I'm hurting the most is legitimately the flat damage on the weapon. 100%. It could be so much better. There. Alright. I will run the Esh. Monsters inflict brittle. Yeah, I really miss the pure breachstones having a guaranteed, like, unique drop. The fact that my pure breachstone is feeling like a normal breachstone in terms of drops, I just don't like it. Got the hidden. Cool. So that's 3 or 4 of those now with no unique. Fragments, breach. Okay, somebody took it. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up here. I'm going to take a last look at the leaderboard here. Okay, this website is like breaking at the moment. There we go. We are 13 points ahead of last place currently. Prometheus made a big late push somehow. They got a lot of points. So it was like a 3-horse race for third. And they took it. So while the grasping males didn't get used, seeing our guild fragment tabs, scarabs look like this, no breaches, and I did nothing but farm breaches the entire event. I feel like I was doing the right thing, given that it is me. Because, let's see here. Slash, turn this off. Slash played 2 days, 4 hours, 42 minutes in 4 days time. And deaths 100 times exactly. And kills. Killed 500,000 monsters. I don't know if that's a lot or not. If it feels like a lot, I kill lots of stuff. But next time, we'll return to SSF Crucible. I've got a lot of stuff waiting for me there that needs to be sorted through. So we'll check that out next time. But that is going to be all for this one. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely hit the like button, as it really helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe to make sure you don't miss more videos from me. If you'd like to help support my channel, please consider using the super thanks, the heart icon just below the video, or by joining to become a member. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.